and thank you for joining us for a family story. Today we're going to read a fun summertime story, one of my favorites. It is called Tippy, Tippy, Tippy Splash by Candace Fleming and G. Brian Karras. So here we go. I hope you like this one as much as I do. Mr. McGreely had bunny problems. He had bunnies in his garden, bunnies in his shed, bunnies in his cupboard, bunnies in his bed. I can't take it anymore, bellowed Mr. McGreely. I need a break. I need to escape. I need a day at the beach. Mr. McGreely grinned as his idea grew. What fun, he exclaimed. I will search for shells, fly a kite in the sky, surf the waves, and build a big, tall sand castle. Best of all, there won't be a pesky pufftail in sight. Some of you might recognize these characters from other books with the bunnies and Mr. McGreely. You might have read like Muncha, Muncha, Muncha in school, or maybe you have it at your house. So I hope you like this one too. So bright and early the next morning, Mr. McGreely packed his surfboard and snorkel, his sand pail and shovel. Then he bustled off to put on his bathing suit and tippy, 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 pat, click, clack, snap, bunnies. Minutes later, Mr. McGreely slid into the driver's seat. Goodbye, bunnies, he called out. Hello, fun. He hummed a snappy, happy tune all the way to the beach. I don't think he has seen the bunnies in the back seat. Once there, he spread out his blanket and flopped onto his belly. Ah, he sighed, let the fun begin. But tippy, 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 pat, flip, plop, flop. When Mr. McGreely saw the three little bunnies sunbathing on his blanket, he was angry. Oh no, he exclaimed. No bunny, no how, no way is sharing my fun day. He stomped away in search of shells. Sift, sift, poke, look, lift. He uncovered half a sand dollar and 2 cracked clam shells. By golly, that was fun, exclaimed Mr. McGreely. And just look what I found. He skipped back to his blanket. Who do you think was there? Meanwhile, Tippy, Tippy, Tippy grabbed, plucked from the sand, Tippy nabbed 3 little bunnies combing for shells, dragging a sack as big as themselves. Oomph. When Mr. McGreely saw the 3 little bunnies' big heap of sea treasures, he was really angry. Trying to show me up, eh? He sputtered. Well, let's see you wily twitch whiskers do this. Grabbing a kite, he ran up and down the beach. Huff, huff, gasp, pant, puff. The kite bounced along behind. By golly, that was really fun, Mr. McGreely wheezed happily. And my kite even lifted off for a second. And he headed back to his blanket. Meanwhile, tippy, tippy, tippy dash, down by the shoreline, tippy flash, 3 little bunnies flying a kite, clutching the string with all of their might. Whee! Wonder what kind of fun things do you and your family like to do at the beach? Like to dig for shells and fly kites, right? Just like the bunnies and Mr. McGreely. When Mr. McGreely saw the 3 little bunnies' kite swooping and soaring above the clouds, he was really, really angry. You infuriating flop ears may have caught the breeze, he cried, but I bet you can't catch a wave. And tucking a surfboard under his arm, he sprinted across the sand, dove into the surf, and crash, smash, glub, glub, blub, he washed ashore, spitting and sputtering. Oh, the fun, Mr. McGreely coughed. He dripped back to his blanket. Meanwhile, tippy, tippy, tippy dash, riding the waves, tippy splash, 3 little bunnies glide on shore, then giggle and wiggle and splash back for more. Cowabunnies! When Mr. McGreely saw the 3 little bunnies shooting the curls and riding the waves, he was furious. Blast you wily twitch whiskers, he shouted. You want to see fun? I'll show you fun. Snatching up a pail and shovel, he stormed down the beach to the sandcastle contest. First prize wins lunch at the veggie hut, said the judge. Mr. McGreely dropped to his knees in the sand. By golly, he fumed, let's see those four-pawed show-offs do this. And he started building, but crumble, tumble, plop, plop, slop, all he could make was a mound of wet sand. So much for my fun day, sniffled Mr. McGreely, and he wiped a tear away. But then, tippy, 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 what do you think? Ta-da! Mr. McGreely looked from the bunnies to the other castles, then back to the bunnies. Well, maybe, he finally said, just this once. What do you think's going to happen? Let's see. So, together, they shoveled and shaped, scooped and caked, molded and piled and patted and raked, and they built a big, tall sandcastle. It was decorated with seashells. A bright kite fluttered from one of its towers, and a surfboard served as a drawbridge. Do you remember in the story that we've already seen the seashells, right, and the kite and the surfboard? The winner, declared the judge, and he slapped a blue ribbon onto the castle and a gift certificate into Mr. McGreely's hand. Mr. McGreely grinned. Now that, he exclaimed, was fun. Muncha, muncha, muncha. The end. My friends, I hope you enjoyed that summer story. Hope you get to get outside and have some fun at the beach too. And we will see you next time. If you need any help with anything, please check out our website, milfordlibrary.org, for updates on services and information about virtual programming. And if you need to get in touch with us, our phone numbers and emails are there for you. So please let us know if there's anything we can do for you. And we'll see you next time.